Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, President Trump's proposal for the Middle East, why some of your packages may not arrive, and the quarterbacks taking center stage at the Super Bowl. President Trump calling for a U.S. takeover of Gaza.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it.
Saying he's willing to use the U.S. military to do it, and calling for the permanent resettlement of roughly 2 million Palestinians, an extreme U.S. foreign policy shift in the Middle East. Mary Bruce at the White House, Ian Pannell on the ground in the Middle East with the latest.
Americans on assignment around the world with USAID rushed to leave their posts. The overnight email putting almost everyone in the agency on administrative leave. This comes after billionaire Elon Musk seized control of the agency. Offers to buy out government employees now extended to the CIA. Are these moves legal?
Also this morning, new fallout from President Trump's tariffs.
Winter storm on the move, headed right for the Northeast and the I-95 corridor. Ginger with the timing and the track. New arrests in the string of burglaries targeting high-profile athletes. Who's been charged, and the latest on the investigation.
New warning about DeepSeek, the explosive new AI service from China. What our expert told ABC News he found hidden deep in the computer code.
Life interrupted. Isabella Strahan joins us live this morning. What she's saying about her cancer journey. And the big matchup in the Big Easy. Quarterbacks Patrick Mahomes.
Rolling, Mahomes, he can keep it, he can get there, he's in for the touchdown.
And Jalen Hurts.
Hurts, delay, Hurts, in, touchdown, Eagles.
Gearing up for Super Bowl 59. What they're saying, just a few days now until they face off.
Live from Times Square, it's Wednesday. Good Morning America.
Why you stop? I saw you moving a little bit there, Rebecca. I saw you were doing
You can't touch this.
And you can't touch that. There's just 4 days to go to the Super Bowl. New Orleans and our Will Reeve. Ooh, he is ready. I'm going to check in with him shortly. And good news for us early risers, right, Rebecca?
Yeah, it's good news for us. I think it's also good news for the audience because they get the best of us, right?
That's true.
We're going to tell you about the new study this morning about mental health and how is it affected by the time of day and the day of the week.
That is all coming up. We start with President Trump. Unprecedented foreign policy announcement last night at a joint appearance with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He proposed that the U.S. actually take over the Gaza Strip, even open up the possibility of sending troops. The Gaza's entire population of roughly 2 million people should move elsewhere, is what he said. Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce has more on the president's comments and all of the fallout. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. This is a brazen proposal. President Trump claiming without authority rights to one of the most contested strips of land in the world, announcing plans to displace the Palestinian population and turn Gaza into, quote, the Riviera of the Middle East. This morning, a stunning proposal from an American president. Donald Trump with the Israeli prime minister by his side, declaring that the U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip and calling for the permanent resettlement of roughly 2 million Palestinians.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site.
And he says he's willing to use the U.S. military to do it.
We'll do what is necessary. If it's necessary, we'll do that. We're going to take over that piece, and we're going to develop it, create thousands and thousands of jobs.
Benjamin Netanyahu seemingly on board with the plan.
I think it's something that could change history, and it's worthwhile really pursuing this avenue.
The real estate mogul turned president touting the potential opportunity.
I don't want to be cute. I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad. This could be so magnificent.
But Trump provided no details on how he could do this or on what authority he could take over the sovereign territory. His proposal likely a violation of international law.
I do see a long-term ownership position, and I see it bringing great stability to that part of the Middle East and maybe the entire Middle East. And everybody I've spoken to, this was not a decision made lightly.
The big question, who would live there? Trump broadly suggesting everyone is welcome, but he made it clear the Palestinian residents of Gaza should leave and relocate elsewhere.
There are many of them that want to do this, and build various domains that will ultimately be occupied by the 1.8 million Palestinians living in Gaza, ending the death and destruction and, frankly, bad luck. This can be paid for by neighboring countries of great wealth.
Hours earlier in the Oval Office, the president argued Palestinians have no choice but to leave Gaza.
It's a pure demolition site. If we could find the right piece of land or numerous pieces of land and build them some really nice places with plenty of money in the area, that's for sure, I think that would be a lot better than going back to Gaza.
Shortly after welcoming Netanyahu to the White House, Trump digging in, asked point blank if he believes Palestinians have a right to return.
It would be my hope that we could do something really nice, really good, where they wouldn't want to return. Why would they want to return? The place has been hell. It's been one of the meanest, toughest places on earth.
And then just hours later, that shocking declaration that he envisions the U.S. taking over Gaza entirely. After 16 months of war, the devastation is massive. But even amid the destruction, since the ceasefire was announced last month, Palestinians returning to their homes. Those images, hundreds of thousands determined to get back. In Gaza this morning, Palestinians strongly rejecting Trump's proposal. This man saying, "We are staying steadfast in our land here. Whoever wants to rebuild should not kick us out under the pretext of rebuilding." But the president now insists that Egypt and Jordan should take them in, an idea those countries have fiercely rejected.
Well, I think Jordan and Egypt will, I know they've spoken about it with you, and they say they're not going to accept. I say they will.
Democrats say the president's proposal is ridiculous.
What he's saying is dangerous because it will put U.S. interests in the Middle East at risk. It could put U.S. embassy personnel at risk.
Now, President Trump is making this proposal even as the U.S. has been working to secure the second phase of this ceasefire deal, which intends to bring about the release of the remaining hostages and a permanent end to fighting. Negotiations that were incredibly difficult even before President Trump made this new announcement. What comes next, George, is unclear.
Well, yeah, Mary, there's so many questions there, including this simply flies in the face of everything President Trump has said in the past about pulling back the American military from overseas commitments.
It certainly does, George. This goes against the promises that President made on the campaign trail. These are exactly the kinds of conflicts that he has tried to avoid and that the U.S. has tried to avoid in the Middle East for decades.
Mary Bruce, thanks very much, Robin.
And George, let's go to our chief foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, on the scene in Jordan with reaction in the Middle East to President Trump's remarks. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. From a region that I think it's fair to say is reeling from President Trump's plans for Gaza. He said in that press conference, everybody I've spoken to loves the idea of the United States owning that piece of land. Well, here are some of the words from the leaders across the region this morning. Unequivocal rejection, illegal, racist, non-negotiable, absurd. Remember, we travelled into Gaza yesterday, and you can see for yourself the level of reconstruction needed there is absolutely enormous. Steve Witkoff, who's President Trump's envoy here in the region, claiming, quotes, a better life is not necessarily tied to the physical space that you're in today. But here's the problem, Robin. The land and who lives on it is at the very heart of a conflict that's been burning for nearly 80 years. Jordan, Egypt, Turkey, some European countries and others against the idea. The strongest comments, though, from Saudi Arabia. Remember the idea floated by President Trump, Prime Minister Netanyahu, for normalization of relations between Israel and Saudi Arabia. The Crown Prince today making it clear this won't happen unless it is an independent Palestinian state, unequivocally rejecting attempts to displace Palestinians. Some Israeli right-wingers calling the idea a miracle, welcoming it, but Gazan speaking to ABC News rejecting it, saying they haven't been through 15 months of hell only to be turfed out of their land. And a warning that some armed groups that have been involved in this conflict could turn on American troops if they go on the ground. In other words, this could prove a very costly and dangerous idea. Rebecca?
All right, Ian, thank you. We turn now to the latest on President Trump and Elon Musk's drive to reshape the federal government. Our senior political correspondent, Rachel Scott, is tracking it from the White House. Good morning, Rachel.
Rebecca, good morning to you. And the CIA, now the first major national security agency to offer these buyouts to employees. And it comes amid sweeping changes by the Trump administration across the federal government.
Americans on assignment around the world with USAID now rushing to leave their posts.
It sounds like you're going to wind down USAID. It sounds like it. I mean, I think so.
Overnight, USAID staff receiving this email saying nearly everyone in the department will be put on administrative leave by Friday. Those working abroad expected to return within 30 days. 10,000 people work for the agency globally. Their projects pulled back after billionaire Elon Musk seized control of the agency, which provides foreign aid and assistance around the globe. Democrats stress it can't be shut down without congressional approval. Republicans applauding Musk.
Why not go through Congress for that?
Because you're thinking about, wait, I want to answer her question. Because you're reporting and you're asking questions about the old way of doing things.
Musk, the world's richest man, also behind the offer to millions of government employees to leave their positions with pay, now also extended to the CIA. Some 20,000 taking the buyout so far. ABC News learning those who don't could still be laid off. All of this part of the sweeping plan to shrink the federal government. Musk and the president now setting sights on dismantling the Department of Education. President asked why he's nominating former WWE CEO Linda McMahon to lead the agency he wants to eliminate.
I told Linda, I hope you do a great job and put yourself out of a job.
Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, staffed largely by young engineers, at least one of them 19, have brought beds into their government offices. Musk posting on X, working the weekend is a superpower. His team getting access to the Treasury Department's payment system, which processes trillions of dollars of the government's bills and includes the personal information of millions of Americans.
It has no authority to make spending decisions, to shut down programs, or ignore federal law. This is not debatable. This is an indisputable fact.
And over at the FBI, we have learned that a list has been handed over to the Justice Department of employees who worked on January 6 cases. At least 2 lawsuits have now been filed saying that these agents are being targeted by their own department for doing their jobs, Rebecca.
And Rachel, you're also learning about a new executive order the president is expected to sign this morning.
Yeah, Rebecca, we are learning this morning that President Trump is expected to sign an executive order aimed at banning transgender athletes from competing in women's sports. The details of this executive order first obtained by ABC News. It does mandate immediate enforcement, including against schools and athletic associations that, quote, deny women single-sex sports and single-sex locker rooms. It directs federal agencies, including the Department of Justice, to enforce it. And if universities do not comply, the White House warns they could not only lose federal funding, but also face legal action. The president is expected to sign this at an event later at the White House today, and they do expect some sporting organizations, including the NCAA, to follow suit. Other organizations say this will only lead to more harassment, but the president is fulfilling a campaign promise, Rebecca.
All right, Rachel, thank you. George?
Okay, Rebecca, we're going to get the latest now on President Trump's immigration crackdown. The first deportation flight has landed at Guantanamo Bay. The president said that up to 30,000 undocumented migrants may be held at the facility. Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz has the details. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, George. This is the same U.S. naval base where the 9/11 terrorists have been held for decades. But this morning, 10 migrants who were flown from the Texas border in a military transport plane now under armed guard at Guantanamo Bay. The Department of Homeland Security, which released images from the transport to Guantanamo, say the men are members of a violent Venezuelan gang, the worst of the worst, they say. Hundreds of U.S. service members arrived ahead of the detainees and are setting up a tent city that can handle up to 30,000 detainees. The migrants will be held there until they can be deported to their home countries. President Trump also saying he is open to an offer by El Salvador's president to hold criminals in that country's notorious mega prison, including American citizens. Trump saying he would do it in a heartbeat if it was legal, which is highly doubtful, according to legal scholars. Robin?
All right. Our thanks to you, Martha. Now to the U.S. Postal Service temporarily suspending parcels coming from China and Hong Kong. Elizabeth Schulze has the details and the potential impact on American consumers. Good morning to you, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Robin. Packages shipped from China to the U.S. are getting caught up in confusion over President Trump's new tariffs. In a new statement just out this morning, the U.S. Postal Service says it will keep accepting mail-in packages from China and Hong Kong as it works to implement the new China tariffs that are now in effect. Overnight, USPS had said it was temporarily suspending parcels from China and Hong Kong until further notice under these new executive orders. Now, under that rule, shipments worth less than $800 coming from China will be subject to tariffs, and that is a big change. Chinese retailers like Shein and Temu, which account for about 30% of all low-value packages coming to the U.S. every day, did not have to pay tariffs up until now. What could this ultimately mean for shoppers? Well, you might end up waiting longer for deliveries as your packages make their way through customs, and retailers could pass down higher prices. So with 35% tariffs, $20 sweatshirt could cost you $27. Many shipments, though, come from private carriers, UPS, FedEx, and DHL. They haven't yet said if they are changing policies. George.
A lot of ripple effects there. Okay, Elizabeth, thanks very much. Ginger is here. Got a big storm heading east.
Yeah, there are 22 states with some sort of winter weather advisory or warning. And so we're seeing from Woodward, Oklahoma to Worcester, Massachusetts, those advisories spreading across because it's all getting going now. It's starting in Kansas. You can see some icing on 35. By tonight, Chicago over to, say, Toledo and Detroit. That's the overnight hours. And then look at it start up. Philadelphia early morning. It'll start as a burst of snow in New York and then go to a little mix and then rain. So with that east wind, it's going to be hard to keep it frozen, but Boston stays frozen all the way through the early afternoon. Here's what it'll leave behind. The worst of it is the ice storm warning in the Allegheny Mountains. Power outages, tree damages. We're talking up to a quarter or even half-inch of ice, like that freezing glaze.
Okay, we'll be back to you in just a moment, Ginger. Thank you. But now to safety concerns at Reagan National Airport. ABC News learning of at least 15 incident reports over 3 decades amid new questions about the deadly collision there last week. Trevor Ault joins us with more. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Robin. So we're learning some pilots and air traffic controllers had been expressing their concern about how close the airplanes and helicopters are flying at Reagan National Airport, including 2 reports describing this setup as an accident waiting to happen. This morning, ABC News has learned of at least 15 incidents of close calls at Reagan National Airport, some eerily similar to last week's deadly American Airlines and Black Hawk crash. These reports go back as far as 1991. Pilots and air traffic controllers notifying authorities of planes and helicopters flying dangerously close to one another, prompting one pilot to call DCA probably the most dangerous airport in the United States.
These pilot reports dating back years show at least 3 or 4 examples of the same setup that led to the American crash. Same very close calls, and nothing was ever done about it.
In 2013, one pilot reporting a helicopter flying 200 feet below them, saying the FAA allows these aircraft to operate in this environment and we have no choice but to accept it and deal with it. Another pilot responding to a separate incident in 1997, I was not comfortable with the level of safety involved with flying within 400 feet of a heli, and that is considered a normal operation. Location data from last week's crash show it happened at just over 300 feet of elevation, but the chopper was supposed to be flying at least 100 feet below that.
If you're driving your car, 100 feet seems like a long way, but in an airplane, when closure rates are so high, it's seconds or fractions of a second.
Now, as for comment, the FAA tells us due to the ongoing NTSB investigation, we cannot provide information at this time. Meantime, crews are still searching for the helicopter's flight data recorder in this crash, guys.
All right, Trevor, thank you. Coming up, a potential break in the string of burglaries targeting pro athletes. The latest on that investigation.
And we're counting down to the Super Bowl. Will Reeve with the quarterback showdown. Hey, Will.
Hey, good morning, George. We made it to New Orleans, and so did the teams. Coming up, you will hear from quarterbacks Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes.
Great to see you there, Will. And new at 7:30, Isabella Strahan joins us live as she shares her cancer journey with others.
Coming up, the new study about how the time of day can affect your mood. Stay with us.
Just recently, I realized that my youngest daughter and her fiance had never seen Ghost.
Oh.
And so they put it on, and they're like, "You've got to watch it." I said, "There's no way." But I realized I have not seen it in 30-some years. And so I gave way and went and watched the second half. And I was like, oh, I did okay.
She did more than okay. Demi Moore, the first time Oscar nominee, was on Jimmy Kimmel Live last night. The actress talked about Ghost, her career, and award season. So great to see her enjoying this moment as she is celebrated for her role in The Substance. And I watched it recently. Ooh, The Substance. it is so good. Chilling.
Mm-hmm. And it's good to see her having such a good time. Mm-hmm. First, new at 7:30, one person has been killed, 5 injured after a workplace shooting at a warehouse near Columbus, Ohio. Officials have identified the suspect working to take him into custody after he fled the scene. The Senate has confirmed Pam Bondi to serve as Attorney General. Bondi is a former AG of Florida and a Trump loyalist who defended him during his first impeachment, also an election denier in 2020. The vote was 54-46. Senator John Fetterman was the only Democrat who voted for her.
The FAA says it is investigating a large chunk of ice that crashed through the roof of a house in Florida. You see it there. The agency says it's not uncommon for ice to form on the outside of an airplane and fall off. Luckily, no one inside that home was injured there. And one of the last two surviving Tuskegee Airmen has died. Lieutenant Colonel Harry Stewart Jr. was one of the first 1,000 black pilots who trained at Tuskegee Army Airfield in Alabama. He volunteered to join the Army Air Corps at 18 after the attack on Pearl Harbor. And he was one of 4 Tuskegee Airmen who shot down 3 enemy aircraft in a single day, receiving the Distinguished Flying Cross for bravery. Stewart said that he was fascinated by flying ever since he was a little boy, and he learned to fly before he learned to drive.
Oh,
he was 100.
What a remarkable man. And as you know, my father was a Tuskegee Airman, and I've spent a lot of time over the years with the Airmen, and they are cut from the same cloth. My dad was 19 when he joined the service, and as a little boy in Jersey, he would take a sawed-off broomstick handle and imagine it was his throttle and that he was flying.
Incredible.
And their love for flying was only matched for their love for this country.
Absolutely.
Showed it every single day.
And they will both be remembered,
Yes,
Robin.
Thanks.
We're going to move on now to a potential break in the string of burglaries targeting pro athletes. The FBI arrested 2 men connected to an international theft ring. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky here with the details. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, George. Prosecutors say 2 men due today in Brooklyn federal court created an essential cash-based marketplace for luxury items that were stolen from pro athletes while they were busy playing their sports.
This morning, a break in the recent spate of burglaries targeting professional athletes. The FBI searching a pawn shop in Manhattan's Diamond District and arresting the owners, who are now charged with selling luxury goods stolen from players like Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow. Burrow, sideline, chase, spin, touchdown Bengals! His home burglarized during Monday Night Football in December.
Someone is trying to break into the house right now. My daughter is there. This is Joe Burrow's house. She is staying there. He's at the football game.
Prosecutors say the men brokered the sale of countless pieces of stolen merchandise taken from across the United States by South American theft groups. They were allegedly the middlemen, buying the loot from the thieves and selling it at their store. Prosecutors linked one of the defendants to the burglary crew suspected in the break-in at Joe Burrow's home.
How you guys doing?
Body camera footage showing 4 Chilean nationals being questioned by authorities last month in Ohio.
Where are you guys headed to today, sir? Orlando? Wrong way. Florida's that way.
The man in the front passenger seat wearing a Cincinnati Bengals beanie, Burrow's team, and in the trunk, a Louis Vuitton bag and a shirt from LSU, where Burrow played in college. Authorities say it's all part of a rash of burglaries targeting athletes while they're working. The homes of Kansas City quarterback Patrick Mahomes and tight end Travis Kelce were also burglarized during a Monday Night Football game.
And authorities said they seized large quantities of high-end watches and jewelry, wine, sports memorabilia, and art. Prosecutors will ask a judge today, Rebecca, to hold the 2 men without bail so they can no longer motivate the thieves to engage in these nationwide patterns of burglaries.
It's just so brazen when you think about it and so large. Okay, Aaron, thank you.
I first sat down with Isabella Strahan and her dad. It's hard to believe it was a year ago, January 2024, when she was in the middle of her cancer fight. She was poised, brave, thoughtful, already helping others. And she is joining us now to talk about the special that's airing tonight, chronicling her cancer journey. It's called Life Interrupted, and we see Isabella Strahan joining us bright and early this morning there. Good morning to you, hon. You're joining us from your college apartment at USC. Remember last time we spoke, you talked about how you were just craving normalcy. So how does it feel to be on campus, and how are you doing now?
It feels amazing. I love getting to be able to go to classes with people my age, and I just joined a sorority, so it's been great to meet so many new people and really feel like I have a college experience again. I think it's something like during treatment I really, really wanted, because I saw everyone going to college, and when you can't do something, it's what you want to do most. So I'm really happy to be back and taking great classes.
I know, because you had just started your freshman year when this happened, and your life, a year ago looked a little different. And people, I think, are going to be surprised to learn you actually had three 3 brain surgeries. And what did you learn about yourself during this journey that, that surprised you?
Yeah, I learned how you should advocate for yourself. I think the whole journey has taught me that. I think at the beginning, me not going to the hospital for the month of October, it should have been different. I think I should have known something was wrong earlier. And I think it's always important to trust yourself and trust your body. I think that's something I've taken into account. Is always staying positive, but always really knowing in your mind if something's wrong.
Yeah, a lot of us in the studio are nodding along with you right now about advocating for yourself. That is a lesson for all of this. And we know that the documentary exists because you took so many videos and pictures of your experience from when your symptoms first started to even when you rang the bell following your final chemo treatment. And I know you did it. You wanted to be a resource because you didn't have anybody, another young person to reach out and talk to. So was that part of your motivation?
Yeah, so kind of when I started my journey, I know when I was going to get my port and just everything, I was looking up YouTube videos and nothing specific to me. It was kind of just, it didn't really feel natural. It was more of like a Q&A sit down and wasn't like a live footage thing. So I thought it'd be great in my journey to do that. And it's something that I've loved doing, and I've met so many amazing people. And I think it's just been really beneficial for me even to have my vlogs because I can look back on how I was doing. Maybe I'd be on my couch from chemo and I'd look back to, say, the prior month of chemo and be like, oh, okay, things are now. And I think that was really great for myself to see how much I could improve. And looking back now, it's great to see the progress I have made.
You've made great progress, Isabella, great progress. And what you've done is going to be an incredible support for so many folks. You had the incredible support of your amazing family, your dad, your mom, your siblings. What did that mean to you to have them by your side?
I think I was so fortunate and grateful to have so many amazing people to kind of help me through this. From my family has been there the whole time. They've been great. My friends who really put in effort to really see or talk to me, which I think was amazing. And just anyone who's reached out, even if I didn't know them, I think one of the best things to me was maybe people in high school who I wasn't close with reaching out, or just people I'd never really talked to. I think that was really, really impactful to see how people can come together. And I'm just so thankful for the support of my family and how grateful I am to have had people by my side. I don't think I was left alone for more than 10 minutes. So that's why I was scared to come back to college because I'm being all by myself.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And boy, did we love that video of you ringing the bell after your final chemo treatment. But, as a fellow thriver, I know that's not where the journey ends. So tell us about what the next chapter of your health and your life looks like, Isabella.
Yeah, so really the next chapter, every 3 months I get MRIs. So that's going to continue for a while. But now, just for me, I'm just trying to gain some weight and muscle back. I think that's something I lost with chemo, just not moving around as much as I would have wanted to. So working on my balance as well, because I lost that from my surgery. And just kind of improving myself in the little ways. And I know a little progress, it's hard to see, but it slowly is getting better. So I think it's just trying to maintain good nutrition, work on my balance, working out, just getting into routine. I think has been really impactful for me because I want to get a good schedule, and I think that'll make it more normal for me.
Oh, great. What time's your first class today at USC?
At 9.
So we got you up early. Hey, there's a new study
a little bit earlier than I usually would wake up.
Just a little bit. Hey, hon, thank you so much. Thank you for being just a resource for so many and just a bright light. But just thank you for being you. And we're all incredibly proud of you, Isabella. You take care.
Well, thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you on down the road. And we don't want to give away anything, but we'll just say there's a really special surprise at the end of this documentary that nobody is going to want to miss. Life Interrupted, Isabella Strahan's Fight to Beat Cancer airs tonight on ABC at 10 p.m. and streams the next day on Disney+. and Hulu. It is, it is not easy to be so public about something that you're going, and at her age, but she truly wanted to make her message. She truly wanted to be a resource for other young people because she didn't have anybody who looked like her at her age going through that type of cancer.
You saw that poise right there.
Yeah. Completely. Where did she get that from? From her daddy. Who knows?
What a great conversation, too, Robin.
Great. Now with the countdown to the Super Bowl, and this one could come down to a battle of the QBs, Sam.
Oh, that's right, Robin. It's exciting. Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. Now, Will Reeve is in New Orleans, but Will really knows this stuff. Will, what's going on?
New Orleans is ready, Sam, and so are the quarterbacks. Hear from them in their own words. Check it out.
Rolling, Mahomes, he can keep it, he can get there, he's in for the touchdown.
This morning's Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans is shaping up to be big.
Hurts, delay, Hurts, in, touchdown, Eagles.
But superstar quarterbacks Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts know it'll be anything but easy.
I understand that it's going to be a challenge.
You can't just bank on hoping for results to come without the work.
It's a Chiefs-Eagles rematch from 2 years ago. But this time, history is at stake. Kansas City 1 win away from an unprecedented three-peat. It's the 5th Super Bowl appearance in 6 seasons for Mahomes.
A Chief Pete, whatever it is, they're about to head to New Orleans.
With a chance to become the youngest ever QB to win 4 Super Bowls, he's as hungry now as ever.
I just want to be remembered as one of the greatest teams of all time at the end of the day.
So this is New Orleans. So they handed out some beads at the airport. And George, they must have known that I was coming because it has a stat on them. It says New Orleans, record-tying 11-time host of the Super Bowl. It's what we do. It's what Patrick Mahomes does.
I didn't need a bead to tell me that. I'm from there. But you're always bringing the heat, always bringing the stats. Have a good time. We'll be back with you shortly, Will. We'll be right back.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Winter storm on the move, bringing icy conditions to the Midwest, taking aim at the Northeast and the I-95 corridor. Ginger tracking it all.
Standing up for surrogacy. Emily in Paris star Lily Collins and her husband welcoming a baby girl into the world and receiving harsh comments online for the way they did it. How he's responding to the hateful messages.
We are flying high because Anthony Mackie is here.
Make sure the suit's ready.
As he transforms into Captain America.
You want me? Come and get me!
He's bringing us an exclusive clip. And he's saying,
"Good morning, America!" Live from Times Square, it's Wednesday. Good morning, America.
It is great to have Anthony Mackie here. This isn't his first time on GMA, but it is his first as Captain America. No matter how hard, George, you tried to over the years. Okay, let's take a look at this.
In the comics, Falcon becomes Captain America.
In the comics, yes, twice.
So?
They're good comic books.
I'm not sure you can answer this. What's next for the Falcon? Does he become Captain America?
I will make sure that you guys are the first group I tell.
He did tell us first.
Yes, he did.
Push him hard.
But did you know? Could you see the crystal ball? He's going to tell us about his transformation into Captain America.
Also ahead, why it may pay to be an early riser, the new study on mood and time of day.
First look at the top stories breaking today. We start with the winter storm on the move, taking aim at the Northeast. Ginger, of course, is tracking it. Hello, Ginger.
Hey, good morning from Kansas City to Columbus, Georgia, over to Altoona, Pennsylvania. We're looking for that freezing rain or sleet and even in some places snow. Ice storm warning from central Pennsylvania, Alleghenies down to Snowshoe, West Virginia. So let's time it out. It's already started. I-35 could become slick north of Wichita, especially up there. Chicago, we stopped the clock at 11 p.m. tonight over to, say, Toledo and Detroit. That's where it really starts to get going. And watch what happens. It's a burst of snow here first in New York City and Philadelphia. Then it goes to transition of a wintry mix and eventually rain by the mid-morning or afternoon. And then Boston stays on the frozen side all the way through the early afternoon. So the travel will be nearly impossible in that ice storm warning in the Allegheny Mountains there from Altoona down the kind of ridges. Power outages could happen. You could see a quarter to a half inch of ice. I-70 is going to be tricky in the overnight hours into the early morning. But just tomorrow morning, it's like the worst timing, Robin, from 7 till 9 a.m. And that's tri-state here.
We know you stay on top of it for us, Ginger. Thank you. Now we have a new warning by an expert about the Chinese AI company DeepSeek and potential privacy concerns for American users. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky is back with an ABC News exclusive. Good morning again, Aaron.
And good morning, Robin. DeepSeek seemingly came out of nowhere, revealing a powerful artificial intelligence tool that is now the #1 downloaded app on Apple and Google. But DeepSeek could pose a risk to users' personal data and to national security because of what seems to be a direct pipeline to the Chinese government.
This morning, a security expert is raising alarms about the explosive new AI service from Chinese upstart DeepSeek. The expert tells ABC News he has found hidden in DeepSeek's computer code the capability to collect data from American users and potentially send it directly to the Chinese government.
We see direct links to servers and to companies in China and that are under control of the Chinese government. And this is something that we've never seen in the past.
DeepSeek concedes it sends data to China, but where Ivan Sirani at cybersecurity firm Ferut says it may end up is concerning.
The software code loaded on DeepSeek's website has a direct reference and ability to send information to China Mobile's servers.
China Mobile is a state-owned telecommunications company that has been sanctioned in this country over fears it could cause irreparable damage to U.S. national security.
We always suspect that technology sold by a Chinese-based company has a backdoor accessible to the Chinese government. What's alarming here is that the backdoor has been discovered and it's open.
ABC News spoke with multiple cybersecurity experts who agreed with Ferut's analysis. Congress banned TikTok over national security concerns, but now there are fears DeepSeek could pose an even greater risk.
You were behind the TikTok bill. What'd you make of this?
Alarming. I think we should ban DeepSeek from all government devices immediately.
We attempted to reach DeepSeek for comment, but did not get a response. Part of what makes these findings so concerning, Rebecca, is the kind of information that users input into AI tools. We're looking at TikTok for pasta recipes and dance videos, but users may ask DeepSeek to analyze confidential documents, personal information, or sensitive business data. Rebecca.
Yeah, it's really an important consideration, and you just made the point there in your piece. If you're a Chinese company, there's a backdoor for the Chinese government. That is what's happening. Aaron, thank you. We are going to turn now to a new study about how your mental health can be affected by the time of the day and the day of the week. And Ariel Reshef is here with the findings. I hope it's a good time of day for you,
It's a good time of day. If you're waking up happy with GMA, you know what? There's science behind it. A new study finding people tend to feel mentally strongest in the mornings. Researchers wanted to assess time of day association with depression, anxiety, loneliness, and overall well-being. After observing roughly 50,000 people, they found that there is a clear pattern here. Most people generally wake up in the morning feeling better, and then they're at their worst around midnight. They also found an association with the day of the week and the season. Mental health was worse in the middle of the week, Robin. Higher anxiety on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. The armpit of the week. Yeah, Robin always says it. Armpit of the week.
Tuesday's the armpit of the week. I've said this forever.
I know. Okay, no problem. Okay, so people also generally felt better mentally over the weekends. Not a surprise in the weekdays. So what does this all tell us? Scientists say it's important to consider time of day, and also your season when you're doing research about mental health, and also when it comes to interventions too. You can keep up those good vibes by making sure that you're developing a morning routine, exercising, and doing something mindful like yoga or meditation. This study was not sponsored by Good Morning America, but you should watch us too in the morning.
No, but people always ask us, how can you get used to the schedule? Do you like the schedule? I've always said I do like it.
I'm
and
stay on
now
the
it's
schedule.
validated by science.
Validated by science. Oh, Ariel, you're a good sport. Thank you. Coming up, our GMA morning menu just in time for Valentine's Day. Which online florists deliver the best flowers? Becky tried some out in our Try Before You Buy.
Also ahead, the doctors are here for Heart Health Month. Dr. Tara Narula and Dr. Darian Sutton are telling us how to recognize a heart attack and much more.
And of course, Tori's here with Deals and Steals, celebrating Black History Month with 6 small business owners. Sam, you got a great guest upstairs.
Yeah. Well, hi. So I'm here with Anthony Mackie, by the way. And there's a group of high school superfans that are here. We're signing stuff right now. But, I mean, Cap, welcome. We are in the presence of greatness, my friend.
Man. Thanks a lot.
So we're gonna talk to him and all about the new film. When we,
You look good.
We'll be right back.
You look
Thank
good.
You. It's heavier than I thought.
Sweet.
We're back now with the GMA cover story, our Try Before You Buy series. Valentine's Day is just 9 days away. And if you're considering flowers for your sweetheart, our Becky Worley, rose to the occasion, looking at online florists that will deliver a dozen roses. Becky, you ordered roses there in California, and we ordered the same ones in New York. So what did we find out?
If we're doing that kind of pun thing, Robin, roses are red, this reporter is blue. Why? Because I'm going to tell you how much roses cost. They ain't cheap, let me tell you. I think I even got that wrong, but that's okay. We ordered from 3 different online florists, and the prices were actually pretty competitive. And so all of the flowers came in boxes, like from a FedEx or UPS delivery service, and the prices were interesting. So from Pro Flowers, $50 for a dozen roses, and the delivery was $19.99. From 1-800-Flowers, $49.99 for the bouquet, and then $14.99 for delivery. And then from the Bouqs, $48, $25 for delivery. And pro tip, they tell me if you become a member, it's free. The delivery is just $18. So not a bad range of prices here, and all of these are shoppable on our website, by the way.
But how did they compare when it comes to quality?
It was interesting. These are all 4 days old because I wanted to see how they would do over time. So I think the Pro Flowers probably did the best. Also, they came with greenery, so that really filled out the bouquet. The 1-800-Flowers were very tight and looked good when they arrived, and they've opened up really nicely. The Bouqs were a little bit different. We have a picture of when they arrived. They had 4 of the heads that were kind of drooping, and they looked a little bit dehydrated.
Yeah.
But they are the longest of the stems. And when I trimmed all the edges on the bottom, they all kind of rehydrated and came back, and they're not looking too bad right now. And the folks at the Bouqs say, hey, if you ever get a bouquet that just doesn't work out for you, call and they'll make it right. So really not bad quality for flowers that arrived via FedEx.
Not bad at all. So basically we're talking a dozen roses between $65, $75 before taxes. So how do they compare, let's say, to a local florist?
Well, I called around, Robin, New York, Chicagoland, here in California, and the prices to get a dozen roses delivered, no vase or vase, I don't know if we're vase or vase, but that is going to be anywhere between $80 and, get this, $155.
Whoa.
So these were all under those prices. Yeah. So that is something to consider when it comes to value. And I want to just give you one more option. I went to my local grocery store yesterday, and I got this bouquet. $25, but I will tell you, the quality of these roses was not up to the same snuff as these delivery ones. They were all better than the ones that I got at the grocery store. Now I'm just one person, but there you go. I tried before you buy.
Oh, but you are all set. You are all set for Valentine's Day. A little early, but you know.
GMA loves me. GMA loves me
That's
so
right,
much.
we
Thank
do.
you.
What's not to love? Thank you, Becky. And you can buy all of these flowers from our website, goodmorningamerica.com. Let's get a little pop news there.
Before we do that, it's $20 at the grocery store, and I'll leave it on your doorstep. Is that bad? I mean, is that wrong? I mean, that was a lot. Roses are expensive. All right, let's begin this morning with pop news, and good morning, everybody. Pop newsers, the joy of parenthood interrupted. Lily Collins, star of the Emily in Paris series, so she's revealing late last week that she and her husband, Charlie McDowell, welcomed their first child into the world, a baby girl named Tove. With the new parents writing on Instagram, words will never express our endless gratitude for our incredible surrogate and everyone who helped us along the way. We love you to the moon and back. Now, that should be joyous, and it should be the end until we get to the comments section, folks. Guys, we can do better, and we really have to. Way too many negative comments about the new family of 3, criticizing their fertility journey. Dad had to take to the comment section himself, writing, "It's okay not to be an expert on surrogacy. It's okay not to know why someone might need a surrogate to have a child. and it's okay if you spend less time spewing hateful words into the world. Amen, Dad. Especially in regards to this beautiful baby girl. So here's a stat to make it make sense, everybody. According to the CDC, in the U.S., about 11% of women and 9% of men have problems with infertility. So guys, let's just congratulate any new loving parent along the way.
How could you post anything negative seeing such a loving little baby like that and what they've... It's just,
and you never know what someone else is going through. You never know.
You know.
And it doesn't matter if they're a celebrity or just someone around the street. They're happy that they're brand new parents, and we should be happy for them. And we are. Also this morning, let's lighten the mood a little bit with some inspirational words from Gloria Gaynor. So I've got all my life to live, and I've got all my love to give, and I will survive. Gloria taught us all how to survive a breakup. Raise your hand if you've had more than one. Really? No takers?
I've got hands up.
And now her story is set to be memorialized on screen, thanks in part to Robin and her production company, Rockin' Robin. As we all gear up for the debut of I Will Survive, the Gloria Gaynor story, we've got a look at the new trailer, so check it out.
First I was afraid, I was petrified.
It's not easy out there, especially for a woman, but you can get through all of it. I want to uplift people, make them feel determined.
Robin, you just did an interview, sit down with her. You went to see the song. How was it?
I got to tell you, it is there's so much more to her story. Her husband, now ex-husband, it's complex, but she just really went there. And I'm really excited because I think tomorrow, her new music. She did a special song for the movie that's at the end, Faya, If I'd Known. And it's based on her lyric, If I'd Known. And it's just incredible. She is a remarkable.
So we're going to hear that tomorrow?
We're going to hear. Are we going to hear a little bit of this tomorrow?
Are we going to hear a little bit of this tomorrow? Somebody in the pop news? Sure, we will, because Robin just said we will. So don't miss it. It's tomorrow. The Gloria Gaynor story premieres Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Lifetime. And tomorrow, by the way, this just in, we'll share a preview of a brand new music that Gloria Gaynor herself created just for this project. That's all because Robin said so right here on GMA. And now,
when you're the executive producer.
Producing for the sidelines. And now, Philadelphia Eagles superstar quarterback Jalen Hurts is already in New Orleans, ladies and gentlemen, gearing up for the Super Bowl 59. But he's not forgetting about his fans back home in Philadelphia, and it's another reason to love him, cheering for their beloved Eagles. So last November, we chatted with Hurts about the Jalen Hurts Foundation and his TDs for AC's initiative, aimed at getting air conditioning and other necessary supplies into local Philadelphia schools that are in need. Ike Ajachi is live in Philly at one of those schools, and Ike, this just fills my heart. You gotta love somebody like Jalen Hurts.
Don't you, Sam? Good morning. We are here at Gideon Elementary School with some of the best teachers, students, and educators you will ever see this morning, right? And listen, we are all here this morning because Jalen Hurts, he's unveiling his new t-shirt, all part of his charity initiative. It's called One Mission, and it's all about his mission to win the Super Bowl and his mission to support teachers and educators here in the city. Now, money from the shirt sales, that's going to go to buy school supplies for the entire Philadelphia school district, and I think there's a special somebody with a message for you guys. Why don't you take a listen?
What's going on, Gideon Tigers? I just wanted to say thank you for all the amazing support. It's much appreciated, and we definitely feel it all the way down here in New Orleans. We're on a mission, and it's not just to bring it home to Philly. It's to always give you guys the resources you need, everything you need to be great and be successful. And can't wait to see you guys soon. Fly Eagles fly.
Unbelievable. An amazing initiative. Guys, that's incredible. Ike, thanks for bringing it to us.
Gotta get to it. Deals and Steals in honor of Black History Month. Tori is here with 6 business owners to tell us about their amazing products, so let's get going.
We're starting with Puppington. We found this from Oprah, but you take the stress away from pet parents.
Yes, this is our 3-in-1 dog walking bag. It's got everything a pet parent needs. We've got matching compostable poop bags, eco-friendly, a matching clip for used poop bags. Keep your hands clean. It holds everything: phone, water bottle, bowl, leash, everything you need to take Lucas out.
Oh, you're gonna be styling when Lucas goes out, especially today, because all these gorgeous colors are 50% off.
Thank
this
you.
is a good one.
And for knowing my dog's name, Lucas. This is an Oprah favorite.
This is an Oprah favorite. This was in a Beyonce movie. This is a celebrity favorite, and it happens to be a personal favorite. Melanie Marie.
Yes, it's definitely a celebrity favorite, and I'm happy to say that we have something for everyone. As you know, custom jewelry is very one of a kind.
Yes.
It reflects your own personal style, so we have things for the everyday casual wear. If you want to be a little more flashy, you can wear something like this, or if you want to be fun, you can wear matching necklaces. We have with your besties, your cousins, your sisters. We literally have something for everyone.
Yes. You know what else she has? A 100-year-old grandma who told everyone to watch GMA today.
Yes.
So shout out to Grandma. Everything's 50% off today from Melanie Marie.
Thank
Get
you.
yourself some customized jewelry.
Grandma's proud.
Yes, she is proud. Okay, Robin, you're gonna love this. Move-in soles, trusted and beloved by some of the top athletes in the NFL, NBA, college, but it's for all of us.
Tell me about it.
Athletes of all ages love our insoles, but they're also perfect for active moms and grandmas. And the reason being is we have this proprietary arch support system based on 120,000 foot scans from the top podiatrists in pro sports, putting your feet in proper alignment, which helps relieve all sorts of ailments.
Pain. You don't want to be in pain? You buy these insoles today.
Wow.
And Nate's hooked us up, Robin.
I love the shaping of it. So
50%
what's the deal? What's the
off.
deal?
All 50% off. You'll see a variety online. These are smart.
Thank
yeah,
you.
pain-free
I love
walking.
The design. I love the design.
Rock innovation, Robin. You recognize this because before Oprah and Shark Tank, we have loved rock innovation because it's all about being safe and being seen wherever you're outdoors.
Our hats are unique because we have a removable and rechargeable LED light, which you charge in any USB port. We've been on Oprah's Favorite Things 4 years in a row. We have 2 new hats. They are two-sided, so you just flip them. One side has a light and the other side doesn't. This is reflective, light on one side, no light on the other, and the rest are Oprah's Favorite Things. We have for kids.
There are favorite things too, Raquel. Okay, there are favorite things too. And we've got for kids the baseball style. We've got them all covered. All 50% off starting today at $12.50.
And very stylish.
Thank you.
Very, very stylish.
Super stylish. Speaking about Mr. Stylish over here, Ron's back again on GMA. We launched this line Beauty Set, but he's got new and improved.
Yeah, so our best-selling vitamin C serum and eye cream now contain peptides. You're getting plumping, firming, smoothing benefits, plus the reduction of fine lines, wrinkles, evening skin tone, treats hyperpigmentation. And you want to try that?
Oh, sure.
And we've got the viral facial in a swipe.
In a swipe form. So this gives your skin an instant glow up.
Instant glow. 50% off. And you know what Ron's thrown in? Free shipping with your gorgeous skin. Free shipping.
See that glow?
Oh, I see that glow.
All right,
yes.
cookies.
I know that's important, but this is a
years.
warm
This
cookie,
has
Robin.
been ooey gooey on the inside. The best cookie. Why?
Why? Well, just think of the best cookie you've ever had multiplied by 10. Doesn't even come close.
Trust us.
We have perfected the
50%
art
off.
of the goo. Is it not gooey? Right? You get these home, warm them up,
on our website.
and they're the best cookies you've ever had.
I'm not kidding.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to GMA, live from Times Square.
Upload the compound's covert entry points.
Covert? Really? You must be new.
Wait for it.
Back here on GMA, Anthony Mackie, exclusive clip from Captain America. Give it up for this brave new world. Latest installment from the Marvel Universe as we continue to count down to Captain America with Cap himself.
I'm here.
I mean, it's been a little over 10 years since you entered the Marvel Universe, and look at you now. Look at you now. So tell us what we can expect.
You know, this movie is definitely in the vein of the Captain America movies. It's grounded and steeped in reality. You know, you have a storyline that's more just based in a natural reality that we can relate to, just like the other Cap movies. You know, you can expect Harrison Ford. You can expect, you can expect great action. Like we had a great stunt team My stuntman, David Warren, does flips, kicks, and all kind of crazy stuff. So we wanted to, our director, Julius Ona, talked about the idea of taking the wings as far as they could possibly go. So there's a lot of stuff in this movie with the costume and the wings that you haven't seen before, because we went to Wakanda, and Wakanda hooked us up with a brand new and improved suit. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
How
Yeah,
does
yeah.
it feel to take up the shield for the big screen?
You know what? It's amazing. This was kind of like a celebration in ways, because a lot of people on this movie have been on these movies since the beginning.
Yeah.
So when I did Captain America Winter Soldier, like my dresser, Bob, was my dresser on this movie. Like my boy, you know, who
It's
did
a journey.
Travis. Yeah, my boy Travis, who did props. He was the prop master on this movie. So it's like, it wasn't like, yo, you know, I'm Captain America. When I came to set for the first day, everybody said, congratulations. You know, and that meant a lot to me, because we went on that journey together.
And what a journey it has been. We have a special message from you from your older brother.
Hey, Cap, Anthony. You know, I remember coming home from college, and you had destroyed most of my comic books. You had destroyed my train set. Now, since you're Captain America, I guess all is forgiven. Man, the family is so proud of you. Congratulations. The entire city of New Orleans is behind you.
Are you really forgiven?
No. I'm more than sure once I get home it'll be okay.
I know, 'cause my sister's from New Orleans, and
Right.
she loves you.
I
We
grew
all
up with
do.
your sister.
I know.
She was on the news. Yep. Bringing the news.
24/7. You mentioned Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
This is his Marvel debut, is it not?
It is.
Yes,
It's,
right. So did you like kind of immerse him in MCU?
No, Harrison showed up with the game. It was so amazing because, you know, when you see stars of that level, they're so different. They're so compact. They're so isolated. And the first day on set, Harrison, you know, they had all of us like in one corner in our cooling tent. And you look across set, and Harrison has his chair, and he's walking across set, and he's like, right? So he comes over and he sits in the group with the rest of the actors, and he just talked and chilled and hung out, and it really grounded the rest of the actors to know that, like, we're on the same playing field. Like, he was one of us, you know?
Cool.
So it was really amazing.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I believe we have a little slice of king cake. Let me just see, because you're from New Orleans.
Yes.
Now we're already ready for the Super Bowl in New Orleans. So Robin, you know a lot about this as well.
I want the
I
baby.
know, where did you get this king cake from?
So
That's
wait a minute, where
very
did we
big
get the
question.
king cake from? Anybody want to tell me this right now? Because I don't know. Now, is there a secret
Hope it's
to
the right
finding
place.
the baby
baby
in there?
Well,
or
just
what
when
do
you
look
eat
for?
a king cake, you have to bite like lightly, because you don't want to bite down on it. There have been people who have eaten the baby, so you have to tread lightly. But there's no secret, because they bury it
They
in there
hide
pretty
it.
well.
Like you can't see a lift in there.
No, you can't go around touching random parts of the
How
cake.
am I gonna eat it then?
You just touch the piece that you're gonna eat.
While Robin holds the cake, I got a question about your kids.
Here, we're gonna
Anthony,
spread
have
this
your
around.
kids seen this film yet?
No. It's funny. My kids, you know, my job is to be super dad instead of, you know, Captain America. So we went to go see Sonic the Hedgehog because I love Jim Carrey and I love Sonic.
Yes.
He got the baby!
No way!
That is crazy!
No way!
Wait a minute.
While everybody was watching him, I picked up.
I don't even know how you managed to do that, George.
That is such either good or bad luck.
I hope it's good. It's creepy, but I hope it's good.
So basically, if you get the baby, you have to buy the next cake.
Yeah.
So you have to buy all of us king cake.
And you get king cake, and you get king cake.
Yeah, so George is getting everyone king cake, and you also have a surprise for the audience.
Oh, well, I put something together because y'all were so cool today, especially this guy. Love that guy. I put together a private screening for you guys, so y'all gonna see the movie before anybody. So, yeah.
The best audience. They loved every bit of that time.
I wish you were a little bit more excited about it.
You know it's loud when my watch has told me loud audience. Right. You know that they're into it. Thank you for the spirit that you bring.
Nah, it's an amazing time. It's an amazing opportunity. I've been working towards this for 36 years, and
you've earned it.
It's a blessing.
And it's beautiful to watch you with fans because I think so much of us will look up to the movie, but as an individual, as a person, you understand that it's about these fans that are growing up.
Yeah.
And so it's just.
That's what I'm going to call my memoirs, From Papa Doc to Captain America. Y'all might not get that, but they will.
Do you have a message for these young Marvel fans?
I think if I would tell fans and young people something, I would say, be who you want to be. Like when I was a kid, I was 7 years old, and I saw Busta Rhymes on the Arsenio Hall show, and I was like, I want to be that guy. Like I want to affect people the way he affected me. And I started taking acting classes. So when all my other friends were going to dances and going to prom, I went away to acting school. And when all my other friends were hanging out and getting jobs, I came to New York and I went to acting school. And because of that, I always followed my path to what and who I wanted to be. And all of them went on to do amazing things and be amazing individuals, but I grew up to be me.
How did you know so well?
Because I wasn't interested in anything or anybody, man. Like, acting was the first thing I did where I was like, I really like this. You know, I was that kid, I was all by myself all the time. Every day after school, I would go to Bayou St. John and go fishing by myself. I was always by myself, and everybody was like, hang out. You know, and acting was the only time I felt liberated, free, had fun, and was able to engage in a different way. Like Shakespeare taught me more about myself than anybody else in my formative years.
Oh my gosh, that says so much. Thank you. Well, we have to wait. You're going to see it before everybody else, but Captain America: Brave New World hits theaters on Friday, February 14th, and tomorrow we're going to continue our countdown to the premiere with another star of the film. Oh, Danny.
Little Danny.
We are so excited to reveal the cover of the brand new book coming from #1 New York Times best-selling author R.F. Kuang. She wrote the blockbuster hits Yellowface and Babel, and now Calabasas takes on the underworld. Two rival undergraduate students are on a journey to the underworld to save their professor's soul. Calabasas is on sale this fall.
We're so glad you're with us this morning. And so how about if we give back? Let's make your day a little bit easier, your life a little bit easier. GMA lifestyle contributor Lori Bergamotto is here with food products because we're all on the go and we're all crazy busy.
That's right. You are. I am. All these families. They have so much to juggle nowadays, Sam. Work schedules and kid schedules. We don't always have time to sit down and have a meal. This segment is sponsored by Target, and they created their exclusive brands, Good and Gather and Up and Up, specifically with you and me, Sam, and the customer in mind. Plus, you don't have to sacrifice because these are amazing quality products at low prices. You can shop them all with the QR code on your screen.
I love store products. I really do, because you do save money.
You really do, yep. And these ones are excellent. So we're going to start with preparation. You need to have the right tools. So we're going to kick things off here with, from Up and Up, their drawer organizer variety pack. Can you tell I'm from New Jersey? Drawer?
Drawer. I don't get it right either.
Organizer variety pack. So these are great because you get 355 of all different sizes.
Right.
You know, like sometimes you have to buy them individually, but these are great. And when you're packing snacks like this, Sam, you can have a sandwich size. You can have size for your snacks. And we have a little pro tip.
I have never thought about that.
This is fun.
Look how smart you are.
So you put it in the little cup, right?
Right.
And this is like, you know, I have 3 kids and 1 big kid, my husband.
What a time
So when I'm
saver that
packing
is.
snacks, I like to just pour it in, have it ready to go. And I don't like to touch all the snacks. That's the other thing. You know, we're always talking about everybody having clean hands.
I'm doing that. I swear I'm doing that.
You just scoop and you put it in there. That's great. And then they also have from Up and Up these Snap and Store food storage containers. So these are great for things like if you have yogurt or fruit, anything that's, you know, not dry good. You want to keep it nice and secure. These are leak proof. They're dishwasher safe, microwave safe, and freezer safe. And I love the fun little mint green lid.
All right.
Like
This, I actually do a lot of salad prep, and I do it like that, this way.
This is great. So a salad kit is key, and Target makes such fantastic ones. I want to highlight this one here. This is their Nashville style hot salad. And what's really cool about this is that this is Target tested and created. So they really had the customer in mind when they were trying to find the perfect level of heat, and they got it. They nailed it with this. And they also have all different kinds of, not flavors, but kits. So they have chicken avocado, they have the avocado toast, they have Asian style seafood salad.
I like the Asian style. I use that most of all.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And you can add the seafood, you can add the chicken. So you can see here for this salad, we added chicken for some protein.
How do you know what my lunch looks like? That's exactly what it looks like.
I'm packing lunch for Sam Champion today. So we would squeeze a little bit of lemon on it just to make sure that those greens stay nice and crisp. And then, the other thing you could do is you could put a paper towel in, Sam, and that's going to keep everything
Keeps the
from
moisture
wilting.
from right.
So we're just going to snap that
I do it in the fridge.
in.
I never thought about doing it that way. That's great.
That's exactly right. And then also, do you love a string cheese like I love a string cheese?
I'm not a string cheese person, but
these are
you
the
can have mine.
best. Okay, well then we're going to pack two, one for me, extra, because I'm going to work with Sam today. We'll put those in there. But we can't forget about drinks, right?
No, this is important.
So this is great because this is from Up and Up. This is their electrolyte drink mix. Go ahead and give that. Please, it's gluten-free. It has a variety of flavors, and it will keep you hydrated.
I love that you did a paper straw, too.
Oh, there you go. And then, oh my gosh, obsessed pomegranate dragon fruit,
sparkling
seltzer
water
from Good & Gather. So you can just, if it's jostled around, you just tap it. So you get that seltzer nice and calm. Look, it did not splatter.
It did not spray me, and I thought for sure it would.
Yeah, so we have something really for everyone, Sam.
Right. That is delicious. All right, Lori, we are now ready to go. And because we all have a busy schedule, this honestly makes it easier. I love that we can save some folks some cash as well.
That's right. So you scan that QR code now to find all these great products at Target.
All right, coming up, doctors are in the house, ladies and gentlemen. So do you have a question? What do you want to know about recognizing the signs of a heart attack? Important stuff. So we have multiple doctors plural, in the house. We'll be right back.
We are back now with our American Heart Month series, and this morning we're talking handling and preventing a heart health crisis. Joining us now is our power team of doctors, ER doctor and medical correspondent Dr. Darian Sutton, and cardiologist and chief medical correspondent Dr. Tara Narula. We're going to get to you guys in just a second over there, Dr. Narula, but I want to start with you, Dr. Sutton, because you're in the ER, you see this all the time. How do the signs present themselves when someone is having a heart attack?
Yeah, Rebecca, an estimated 10 million people come into the emergency rooms across the United States each and every year. I've treated many patients who have either recently had a heart attack or were currently having a heart attack, and I think the most important part is communication. So we brought an acronym. This is an acronym that I teach medical students. It's very simple. It's a way to describe your pain. If you're at home, this is when you take out a piece of paper and a pen, because you're going to want to know this. So it's PQRST, just like the alphabet. The P stands for provoke or palliate. What makes it worse or what makes it better? Did that chest pain happen after you climbed a flight of stairs, or were running to catch a train, or after an emotional argument? Those are all reasons that increase your risk of possibly having a heart attack. The Q is for quality. And for this, I would just say be so simple in how you describe it. Does it feel like pressure? Does it feel stabbing, sharp, or ripping? Just use all the words that you have to describe it, because it better helps me as an emergency physician get to the bottom of your pain. The R is really important for radiate. So chest pain with radiation is a key red flag for a heart attack. So if your chest pain is radiating down your arm or up into your jaw, those are red flags that we have to pay attention to. And then the S is for severity. Did it get better, worse than it started, or has it stayed the same? And then most importantly, T for timing. If you develop symptoms like chest pain, take note of the time. It will help you understand how long you've been dealing with those symptoms. Minutes feel like hours. And also dictate your care and more accurately define your risk.
And one question on severity. If it starts feeling like the pain is lessening, should you look away or continue to focus on this?
That's a great question. With chest pain, I would say never look away from it. Even if you've had chest pain for a brief moment in time after an exertional activity or with some of these red flag qualities, these are still reasons to check in with a provider to make sure it's nothing serious.
There are some very dramatic disparities when it comes to race on these questions.
Yeah, significantly. When you look at the overall population, Black Americans have a 30% higher risk of having heart disease and dying from heart disease. And we see also in Black and brown populations in general, Hispanic adults have the highest rates of uncontrolled high blood pressure. That's blood pressure without treatment. An important reminder that we have to pay attention to these risks, and most importantly, our blood pressure.
So important. Okay, Dr. Narula, Braden, our intern, and George, now you're going to go with some show and tell.
Yeah, we're going to learn a little bit more about blood pressure, the right way and the wrong way.
That's right. So there's definitely a right way. So the first thing is, and I tell my patients is, you want to get an arm cuff, not the wrist cuff. The wrist ones tend not to be as accurate. You want to make sure the cuff is the right size. If it's too small, you're not going to get an accurate reading. You can check the type of blood pressure cuff you're getting at validatebp.org to make sure it's a validated cuff. And I always tell my patients, bring in your cuff at least once a year, if not more frequently, to check it in the office against the doctor's measurement and make sure that it's working right. When you're ready to take your blood pressure, these are the things you want to avoid about 30 minutes before you take it. You want to avoid alcohol, caffeine, or exercise. You also want to make sure you go to the bathroom and empty your bladder, because actually that can raise your blood pressure. And then you want to sit quietly for about 5 minutes before you even begin. When you're ready to do it, you should be sitting as you are, straight like this, with your back supported, legs, feet flat on the ground, and uncrossed. Lots of times I see people with their legs crossed, and that is not the right way. You want to make sure your arm, again, is resting flat on a surface like this and supported and at the level of your heart. And then you want to essentially not talk while you're taking the blood pressure or do any other activities. You want to take 2 readings, morning and evening, separated by about 1 minute, and jot those down. And that is the right way to take a blood pressure.
And what's the most important thing we should all remember about heart health?
So heart disease looks like you and me and you, right? It doesn't discriminate. So it's really important to start early with prevention measures as early as your teen years. We see the beginnings of heart disease actually in teenagers. So taking all those heart healthy steps like sleeping, eating right, exercising, those are really critical. And also small things. That's very overwhelming when people think, I have to make all these changes. So you want to take little steps to build in these changes into your lifestyle.
A lot of good advice there. Thank you both very much.
If you go in for the gooey on the inside cookies, you are going to be covered in chocolate. You just are.
They're pretty great.
I'm
okay with that.
Have a good day, everyone.
Looks like you got
Thank you.